Alright, just wanted to make a quick video for AP Stats, and rather than like drawing something out, let me actually go to the document itself. So this is what I emailed you all, and I want to start here at the top. So the first question says, in 2001, both in reading and math value add, the TPS, the traditional public school distribution, seems to be to the right of the charter distribution. What does that mean? Well, if you come down here, let me zoom in on this a little bit. Here's 2001 in math right here. And we know that the TPS is in red, so here's TPS, and charter is in blue. So these are normal distributions. Remember, the y-axis measures frequency. We don't really know what it's measured in, but some kind of frequency. And down here, as always, we have our means. And if you notice, the red mean is about right here, and the blue mean is way back here, which means the red mean is to the right of the blue mean, which means the TPS is to the right of the charter. Now, what does that really mean? What that really means is that the TPS in 2001 in mathematics value add did better. In other words, they added more value than did the charter in 2001. How do I know that? Because the mean for TPS is higher than the mean for charter. And that same pattern is true in reading. In reading, it's a little bit closer, but still, the charter seems a little bit to the right. Excuse me, the TPS, the red one, seems a little bit to the right of the charter. A little bit to the right. But closer, but still the charter seems a little bit less. The charter is a little bit lower than the TPS. In other words, the traditional public school did better, in other words, added more value in reading and math in 2001 than the charter did. And you'll compare that in question number 2. Look what happens in 2011. Then I'm going to ask you to do some analysis questions. Now, for part 2, when we look at KIPP versus public schools, look at this study right here, and it says KIPP in math is 0.15 standard deviations above the mean. This is measured in standard deviations above the mean. And my question is, in what percentile is the KIPP student? Well, 0.15 standard deviations above the mean means what? Well, that's a z-score. We know that standard deviations above the mean refers to z-scores. So I'm going to go over here to my z-score table, and I want a z-value of 0.15. Instead, it's 0.15 standard deviations above the mean. We know the z-score talks about standard deviations above the mean. So here's 0.1. So I know I'm in this row. Can't really highlight this row. Here we are. I'm in the 0.1 row, and I want 0.15. So I'm going to come over here. So right here. So my percentile is going to be the 56th percentile. In other words, the KIPP students are in the 56th percentile of public school students in terms of math scores. And then in year 3, I ask you to do the same thing, and then I ask you to do a little bit of predictive work here, and then down here in part 3, some analysis. So again, here we're talking about normal distributions, and if something is to the right, that means it has a higher mean, higher value add. And here we're talking about z-scores, and we know how to use z-scores to find percentile. I just thought this video would be helpful as you all did this homework assignment.